What is going on, YouTube? PPS back. It is our play of the day video for the 7th of February. Coming at you guys this morning for my two favorite spots today. One of them you will probably know. It's been a pretty good play for me so far this year. No Toledo on the docket for me, at least for the play of the day. I'm sure I'll bet on them because, Toledo 2-point dogs today in a conference matchup. It just seems that we're going to have to be going back to the well there, but before we get started, if you guys could, please smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And we'll get started. Recapping from last show, Pepperdine, thank God for overtime. That was huge for us. They came through, as well as Cornell first half over 76. The Cornell one came through pretty easily. I think they ended up over 80. And then the Pepperdine, it was an L until they went to overtime there. So that was huge. A lot of free throws, like we kind of guessed would happen at the end. And we just saw the game just completely get into a foul fest. Terrible defenses on both sides. Just a lot of missed opportunities in the paint early on in that game really cost the full game prior to the overtime and making it a little bit closer than it needed to be. So I watched that game, and it was disgusting. The stream was awful, and it was some pretty bad basketball, but hey, we got foul, we got free throws, everything there planned out. But let's get into it today. So I have two plays, like I said. One's going to be a 1.5 unit play. We'll start out with the first one. That's going to be Eastern Michigan first half over 76.5. This has been a great play for us so far. I think we've been 2-0 on these. And Eastern Michigan has been absolute first half wagon for the overs, right? We've been seeing them hit this in their last 3 games against Miami of Ohio, and Ball State. All of those teams, they're good, but they're not as fast as Buffalo. Buffalo is actually the 4th fastest paced team in the country. Eastern Michigan ranking 38th in that category. Obviously, we've talked about how bad Eastern Michigan's defense is. And Buffalo's defense is middle of the pack, 180. But like I said, 4th in adjusted tempo. And also one thing I did want to talk about is Buffalo, though they are, I would say, better than Eastern Michigan, Buffalo allows, in the first half, they allow bottom 50 in terms of first half point scoring, that 36 points per game. Eastern Michigan is bottom 5, 39 points per first half. So obviously we just go off those numbers. That would be right there. But also first half scoring. We've actually seen Eastern Michigan do a better job lately in their scoring. And if Eastern Michigan can score and consistently score that 35 to 38 points in that first half, this is going to be really good for their first half overs here, because Eastern Michigan right now is averaging 33 and a half points per first half, ranking them 145 in the country. But Buffalo is 35 points per half. So I think that the pace allows you to be a little bit less efficient. And this pace will be wild, man. We're seeing 2 top 40 pace teams. We're seeing 2 absolutely dreadful defenses, Eastern Michigan especially. But when you look at these teams, I think it'll be a good matchup with 2 good guards there on Buffalo's side, and Jones and Powell, 13 a game for each of them. And obviously, you know what they're doing on the Eastern Michigan side. It's give that ball to Bates and get out of the way, right? 21 a game. But they do have 2 complimentary guys averaging 13 a game, which I think will definitely help here. I just think this is going to be so fast. This is a fun game. This is like when we bet on the Rockets Thunder, right? When we were early on in the season, when there was no defense, it was just run and gun. This could definitely be a type of game like that. And I think we see the over here. Like I said, hit the last 3 games for Eastern Michigan. And I expect to see it again. All right, guys. A play we haven't been backing this team much at all. This is a hometown team here. I'm a Badger guy personally, but obviously you guys know Marquette is very close to me where I'm from back here. So let's pull that up for you. Play of the day. Biggest one so far is going to be Marquette, UConn, first half over 69.5. And UConn kind of screwed me over. I've had a second half live bet on their second half over this weekend, but this is a tough spot to get away from in terms of just pure numbers standpoint and obviously pace standpoint. We look over here, right? We just talked about how bad these teams are, right? In terms of Eastern Michigan and Buffalo with the pace and stuff that they play with. Marquette is 4th in adjusted offense in Ken Palm rankings, 54th in adjusted defense, top 100 pace. For them, UConn 10th in adjusted offense, 20th in adjusted defense, and exactly in the middle of the pack in tempo. I think that these offenses definitely have the advantage here. We saw this game fly over 70 points in the first half in their first game, but obviously a 78 or an 88-point second half got them to the full game over. I liked the pace in that one. We've seen a UConn team really struggle from the 3-point line, which they usually don't do. And then Sonogo also, I don't know if he got hurt in that game. I didn't watch the game specifically, but he only played 19 minutes, and obviously he's the leading scorer in this conference when he is playing. I think he's at like 17 or 18 points per game. So obviously very important to get him involved early in this game. We keep going down this list. There's a ton of pace here on that side. But what I also like here is just how awesome both of these offenses are on both sides, right? We see bigs and we see guards getting into the action here, and that's obviously important. Good free throw shooting teams on both sides. And this would be a fun matchup. Obviously, these are big teams in this conference in terms of like tier 1 wins, like if you're looking down the road towards the NCAA tournament. So these are big wins for these guys. And then we look at just their average points, right? We're going to look at the average here of what they score in the first half. Marquette is sitting at 17th in the country at 38.4 points per first half, and then 40 points per first half for UConn. So numbers back in it. Obviously, I really like the pace here too. Marquette does play at a torrid pace, and I think we could see that continue here. Want to make sure before we head out that you guys get to see where I'm grabbing these lines. -114, Eastern Michigan first half. And I will pull up the other one as well. I forgot to do that right when we were there, so I want to make sure you guys see those as well. So this is the Marquette one here. We're going to be on DraftKings for that one. So it's over 69.5, -120. Then the -114 on the other side. So have a great day, guys. Hopefully you guys are cashing some tickets with us today, and hopefully we can continue to cash our YouTube Play of the Day college spots. So have a good one. Talk to you guys tomorrow. Peace.